Let's return to This Week in America. Here's your host, Rick Bratton.
Welcome back, everybody, coast to coast. This Week in America. It's being called a perfect adventure for a child to take. See You Later Alligator by Crystal Grimsley introduces a young boy to wildlife. The two start as strangers and as good friends when they end up. Now, readers will enjoy how she demonstrates a friendly relationship among a boy and alligator, highlighting the colors, objects, and size in rhyme, capturing this new adventure. Crystal is a mother of one, former director for a nonprofit organization, currently working on her CPA while working full-time at Wintrust Corporation. She plans to write a series of books continuing this young boy's adventure in making friends by exploring the many different animals and insects while comparing and contrasting with shapes, rhymes, and colors. Crystal Grimsley, author of the delightful children's book, See You Later Alligator, our guest on This Week in America. Crystal, welcome to the program. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Rick. It's really great to be on your show.
It is such a nice job that you've done with this. Talk a little bit about the inspiration. I mentioned the mother of one. Talk about the background and where you came up with the idea and why you decided to be Crystal, the published author.
Absolutely. So this all started from my son. He was about 2 years old. And, as a typical mom, I was fortunate to read to him every night, and he really enjoyed it. And actually, this resonated with me because when I was younger, my nana, my mom, they used to buy me book sets all the time. And I was the same age as my son, about 2 years old. And so we would just sit down and read about all these adventures. And I was so intrigued by everything. And so it really just brought me so much comfort and confidence and love to me, And so Fast forward, down the line, I was sitting at a job that I just wasn't passionate about. And so it just kind of clicked. And I just knew that I really just wanted to give that powerful feeling to others. And, what better way to do so than to teach kids about shapes and colors and friendship and important concepts to, help them identify what their passion is.
Well, and the book is a great way to interact with your child, isn't it? And I think that's what you were talking about as a youngster and with your son when he was 2 years old. It's a great way to interact. You can read, they can interrupt, they'll point, they'll talk, they'll ask questions. It's a great way to begin a conversation, isn't it?
Absolutely. I actually, the reason that I chose an alligator and came up with this concept is because, number one, alligators and jungles just have so many different colors and shapes. And alligators specifically, come off as being scary, based on just natural characteristics and facts. But this was a really great way to help kids learn the principle of understanding people and things and animals before judging them. So the comparison just seemed like such a great idea. And so here, children get to learn about something that looks scary, that's very different from them. But then, once they start looking at the differences and understanding the differences and comparing them, by the end of the book, they've made this great friend and they're not scared of them because they understand, more about them and it allows them to embrace them as a friend.
Crystal Grimsley is our guest on the program. She's the author of the children's book, See You Later Alligator. The book's available at Amazon, all the usual places. Go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and you can link on directly and get all the information. Crystal, what are the kids learning from your book? What kind of feedback are you getting? And I know you went into this with some themes that you wanted to talk about to present to the young readers. What are the kids learning from your book, See You Later Alligator?
Absolutely. So what they are learning is that first and foremost, when a child is young and they're developing all their senses, everything is just so amazing to them. So the difference in colors, the differences in size and shape, talking, rhyming in your language, like all of these little concepts, kids are like sponges, so they pick up on. So not only are they learning about these type of things, but they're also learning about, cognitive things like embracing adventure, being able to understand and approach friends and learn how to develop bonds and connections with people.
I mentioned in the beginning that you'd like to do a series of books, and I know that's what the thought is. Tell me how you're doing with progressing with that, because it seems like, boy, with your imagination, the ideas are almost limitless. What are you working on? Do you see this series continuing for a number of other books?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, I'm working on a book, and he actually comes into play with, it's an insect at this one, and it's a dragonfly. And so I actually chose it because completely different type of creature, but just again, a lot of shapes, a lot of colors, a lot of different concepts, and it's so much smaller. So, again, with the comparison, I just plan to, introduce children to, different parts of their habitat. And, through learning these concepts, they learn how to, respect their habitat, but also, show compassion towards one
Yes.
another.
What a great idea. This book is See You Later Alligator. Crystal Grimsley is the author and our guest on the program. Where's the best place to buy the book? I know that it's available at a number of places. Where do you suggest they go to buy a copy of See You Later Alligator?
So you can actually go to authorhouse.com, or right now I have a special promo that personally I'm doing, where you actually get a little stuffed alligator with the book, and that is on a different website. That's prple12000.wixsite.com. And through this, you're actually able to get, a little stuffed animal with the book, because I think that this just brings the adventure even more alive with kids. So imagine a child reading this book about going on an adventure, and they have their little stuffed alligator friend right beside them. They never have to put them
Yes.
down.
What a great idea. They can clutch the alligator as they're reading the book called See You Later Alligator. I love the concept with that. And we'll give you that information before we finish. So you've got a number of places you can buy the book, including the website that Crystal has, where you can get a stuffed buddy alligator along with that. The presentation is so well done as well. Talk about the illustrator and how you work with an illustrator to bring the story alive visually.
Thanks. So I went through a couple of different websites searching for, just interviewing people, illustrators, I should say, for just the right person. I ended up going with Iris Phoebus, and she is just such a talented artist. What I really loved about her is that she was very open and great to work with. She offered just a variety of concepts, and ultimately just was able to visualize um, all the images that I really wanted to be present, that would welcome and excite kids into opening this book and staying engaged. So I thought that was a big part of it. And so really, she's such a great artist. She just offered so many options. It was really nice working with her.
And I'm not sure people understand what goes into writing a children's book when you have illustrations involved. You really need to be on the same wavelength with the illustrator, don't you? So she can take what you're attempting to portray and to do it visually, so the reader will see the story as you want it portrayed.
Absolutely. We definitely had a couple pages that, we had to go back to the drawing board and kind of redesign a little bit. But it was all for the better. And she was just a really great artist. And, a lot goes into the pictures. These take a lot of time.
Yes.
I think it took about maybe like a few months to get all the pictures together. So it was definitely, it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, and the story jumps off the pages. It's so well done. See You Later Alligator, Crystal Grimsley, the author and our guest on the program. Grimsley, if you're Googling, is Grimsley. We'll have all of that on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. When you started off to write, why did you choose a children's book and not a book on the history of certified public accounting or something else that you might be interested in? Why did you choose a children's book?
So I do believe that, children are our past, present, and future. And so it's really important how we educate and raise them. This determines the kind of reality that they will build for us in return. And so, making sure that they have a positive, friendly outlook on life and experiences is really the best contribution that I personally feel, that I could provide for any child. I think that's like an invaluable gift in life.
At such an early age, it's such a great foundation for a youngster. The book is See You Later Alligator. Crystal Grimsley is our guest on the program. You found time to write. Now, how do you work that into the work schedule, going to school, being a parent? How did you juggle all of this? Because I know it was time consuming to develop this story, See You Later Alligator. How do you manage to handle all of this?
That's a great question. One thing I've learned is that to do what you really want to do, you need to be passionate about it, and so that's the only way that you feel the reward. When you're really motivated, in my case, well, I did make time, I did hold myself accountable, and it's the little advances you make day by day toward your goal. And so the result in achieving it is the reward in itself because you're able to help others. So in my case, just being able to get this out to kids and children. And so just by staying structured, focused, and open to adjust, it really allowed me to just make everything work. Like some days I'm doing all school. Some days it's concentrated just on the book, and of course every day is being a mom. So it's really important to just stay dedicated and structure yourself, so you just keep at it.
How long did it take to write the book? And I ask that knowing it's sort of two processes there. One is writing, the other is actually, once you've written it, try to get it published and promoted and take care of the business aspect of it. How long did this whole process take for you from the time you came up with the concept to when you actually held a copy in your hand?
Good question. So looking back at it, it's taken about 5 years. The actual writing part of the book came pretty natural to me. I used to do a lot of poetry when I was younger. So that part only took about 2 hours, but with the resources, the confidence, and the finances involved, that's really what took 5 years. I'd say the most important thing was having a reputable publishing company. Author House has been really great, and they offer just a tremendous amount of services that has really helped, and guidelines, so it has been about 5 years all in all.
And what was it like when you held that first copy of your book? When you pick up the copy, this beautiful cover, See You Later Alligator. It's got Crystal Grimsley on it. This is 5 years of your life that you poured into this. What were the emotions like when you held that book for the first time?
It was an overwhelming sense of accomplishment and joy, to be honest. I really used a lot of my time and attention and heart and compassion in this book. And I was just really overcome with happiness. It really is something I was passionate about. And in my wildest day, when I first wrote the words for this book. I never thought I would see it in a published book, and here we are. So every day it's a blessing to see my book on the shelf.
Well, and then to know that there are parents and children enjoying this book literally all around the world, many that you'll never ever come in contact with, but you know that they're out there sharing this message that you developed in your book, See You Later, Alligator. I want a minute or so left in the program. Who's the boy in your book? Who was that modeled after someone?
Yeah, so that boy is my son. He resembles my son, Enrique. And so both visually and personality-wise, in the book, he's very curious, kind, loving, and friendly. And that is how my son is. He's just loves meeting people. He talks to people. He's curious. He likes going on adventures. And he's the kindest person that I swear that you would ever meet in your life. This kid is just so generous. And so, I really wanted to incorporate that in the book.
And what a bonding experience with your son to have this relationship. And it started by reading to your son and ended up in See You Later, Alligator, the first of what we think will be many of books from Crystal Grimsley, our guest on the program. To wrap it up, give us an idea again where they can buy the book, and give us the website so they can get the stuffed alligator as well. Where can we get a book, and more importantly, where can we get the alligator?
Sure. So you can go to authorhouse.com, Barnes & Nobles, or Amazon to purchase the book. So the personal website is spelled PRPLE12000.wixsite.com. And this is the alligator that you got with the book.
Oh, that's so nice. Such a cute alligator. So we'll have that information as well. And that's great too. You get the book, you get the alligator there as well. Crystal, congratulations on the success of what you've been able to do with the book, See You Later, Alligator. Best of luck with the future books, and hopefully we'll have a chance to talk about those as well. Thank you for being with us on the program today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I really support what you do and believe in what you do as well.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here to talk about this. And if I said see you later, alligator, to wrap it up, would that be a cheesy ending for the program? Or do people say that to you all the time?
Wild, okay. Crocodile.
Okay, Crystal, we're out of here now. See you later, alligator. All of the information on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Back after these messages.